Okay, so now we're talking about all of these URLs and all that information. Just in case this group goes rogue, which seems to be, I was proposing maybe we sort of have the tendency to go towards a new name, which would be New Occupy Los Angeles.
Well, I have the whole press list for Occupy LA, and I was contacted by President Kandist. So if this group does go rogue and steals everything, we can reach out to the press and make it aware that these people have basically stolen Occupy LA media, which was the voice of Occupy LA that was built for all the people of LA. And that's up to the group. We can put out a press release and talk about it
Right.
as OLASM.
We can make sure that they have Hero GA, and that's going to be the showdown on GA. You know,
It
is
will
that?
show up cockroach and stuff like that.
I think
Well,
we need to take seriously that we have 3 admins with all the passwords: Ariana, Megan, and Leslie, who it's been rumored that they didn't come to the meetings. They wanted to remain impartial, but that some people saw them to talk to each other. Whatever. Let's assume that's true, because I haven't actually seen them betray my confidence in that. And I don't know, can I get a temperature check on that, maybe?
I just want to add one more thing. Along with the social media agreeing to the fact that if they give us the password, I think we have to also approve it also on the GA, so that strengthens the passage of the passwords from those two individuals to a group of people who have been elected in the past.
I think the group agreed to it last week, and I think we should report back to the GA as a committee, this is what's going on.
Only if the passwords don't get returned, right?
Or even
Like,
if.
that's the condition that you go to GA, is that because the communication breaks down.
How about the passwords? Is there any way they can be changed and we're not worried about them holding the password? Can someone change the password?
They can change them.
New passwords?
No, we can't change them. They have them all, which means they have the capacity to change them at will.
So it's going to be passwords like them?
No,
we don't
I'm
know
trying
that.
to say that I believe that Leslie, Ariana, and Megan are trustworthy individuals that will hand it over. They've actually said that they have no interest in holding them.
But they went away with the
Megan and Leslie.
These meetings have gotten very inflamed, and so they don't want to take sides. They don't want to be in between people fighting. So they're just trying to, that's your opinion, but they're trying to be neutral. They're trying to be fair and neutral.
I think in good faith we should assume that they will, and if not, next meeting address how to talk to the GA about this.
yeah.
Yeah, give it a week. It's not going to change much.
Play devil's advocate. If by chance nothing comes from GA, how can we get those passwords back?
There's ways. Yes, there's
No,
ways. But so I not like that.
But we need, what we definitely need is someone who is willing to look at the Gmail account to OLA. And this Gmail account is a very important position because all the passwords go back to that account and can be changed using that account. So this is someone that maybe you don't want to have a lot of work to do, right? But you want to participate, and one of the things that you can do is hold this email account.
It's 2 email accounts.
Or 2?
So it's 2 email accounts, and there's a double layer of security that could be put on it, which is basically if somebody tries to access it from a foreign computer, they have to use a text recovery number to their phone, which maybe you can work with 2 people, so it's just on their computers and they communicate with each other. These should be really fucking trusted people. Really trusted people, because everything dials back. That and the Facebook. We should decide who the Facebook managers are going to be, because they could just shut it down.
So, I think so we need 2 email people. And
For the 2 emails.
and this is a very low amount of work, but I don't think you should be on any of the other platforms to volunteer for this position. Is there anybody that hasn't done anything that wants to be?
Anyone want to hold the email passwords that are super, super valuable, and we know where you live.
Pointing
There's gonna be a safe, pretty much.
pretty much
There's gonna be a safe.
Yeah, you're not really
Who has the
No.
Right
Let
now,
other people
Leslie,
volunteer.
Ariana,
I'm gonna be too busy with
I think if it's the
who
girls.
has the password to me? If I'm
With,
safe, who has
Facebook.
access to the information I have?
we have to drag it out of you.
The group has to get together.
You could maybe have one more person that
Yeah.
you're like in tandem with, because you can set up a phone security system or a bonus text. Anytime somebody tries to access that account for part. But
I'd like to nominate Carlos to be that other person. He's a new guy, but he's been pretty active with a lot of stuff. I like.
they've been
In America,
active
too.
in
Yeah.
Occupy LA for a long time. So does somebody want to work at as a team where one person has the touch verification number and both have the passwords, but like I don't know.
I think I would like to nominate Jessica, Nikki, and Ariana.
Well, I volunteered to be content creator for Facebook.
Yeah, we're on the Facebook.
Okay.
Limit my plans
Yeah.
so that I can
Hey.
Be comfortable as a password holder. Okay, so I hold a password to all of these things.
2 emails.
Two
That's
email
it.
accounts
2
for
email
everything
accounts.
that was
But if
back.
something happens and the email account for the Twitter has to be changed, like I would text you and say, hey, change the Twitter right away, and then you would be responsible for doing that recovery. Because usually what happens is you say change password in Twitter, and then it says an email has been sent, and you're the one that has to go in and confirm that. And when you redo a password, you have to use a lot of characters, lots of capitals and weirdness.
Spaces and all sorts of things.
Yeah, so just try to make secure passwords. So one of the things that you would be doing that would be a little bit of work in the beginning is the passwords would be handed over to you for the Twitter, the Instagram doesn't have a password, Tumblr, and the web is going to be something else now.
So you have to change them.
So you'd have to change them and then give them to the people responsible for using that platform and no one else. Okay?
If two people are interested, I only request that you set up the touch verification. And it's only routed to one phone. And this way you have to coordinate. So basically you both would have to like
And you don't know each other, right?
No.
So that helps.
Yeah,
That actually makes me feel better.
that's why I suggested it.
Okay.
But,
Alright, so
Yeah, I agree.
you agree? Okay.
But can we clarify what this means?
That you, okay, so the passwords from Megan and from Megan, Leslie, and Ariana will be returned to you. And then your job is going to be to change those passwords because they have to be verified to those accounts. And they'll give you the passwords and the logins for those accounts. And then you give, according to who we agree on per platform, you give those people the passwords to that platform only and nothing else.
For security, is that better to change those passwords if it's a way to change the passwords?
There's absolutely no way to have many people have the same password and that password not get lost. It's just we don't have the technology yet to do that. Unfortunately, unless we were to use a kind of Hootsuite account where everybody logs in with their own and then there's like a master administrator. And that's something that we could do later. It's not that hard, but it is a pay-for subscription service.
How much is it?
It depends. It depends on the amount of users you have. But I've heard of other like
Let's look at
Occupy
some
Wall
web
Street.
apps.
They have one that's been gifted to them, so we could all just solicit.
Yeah, we can pay
I'm sorry, I vote on these people, or yeah.
Yeah, do you
Okay,
want to take
so-
the votes? Wait,
I'm
vote!
really sorry, but yeah. I
Jeff,
feel like
Jeff,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
vote.
sorry.
We're gonna vote.
I came because it was important.
Okay.
Hey, come here.
Okay. So
I don't know. I think I'm gonna maybe not do this because
okay.
there's a lot of people not here that I've seen at other social media meetings, and I think that they're gonna feel strange.
Okay.
I can't. I want to be Tumblr. I have someone I would nominate for the email. I would nominate Pilar, but she's not here. But that's who I would nominate.
She's not mine. I can ask her.
I don't know what to do temporarily to hold the passwords.
Well, this is a critical juncture.
How about Erica?
Wait, hold on.
Erica,
Wait, but they're together. Is it
Yeah.
possible to get one?
2 different worlds. Yeah.
Even temporarily?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll do it temporarily if you want.
Okay, but then you can't work on the
Yeah,
Tumblr.
I don't really don't want the position.
Everybody's like hot potato.
I know the feeling.
The reason why I'm not on the Twitter is because only Benji volunteered. Is there and then there was the question of Patty, but I don't know, like we can vote on that. So if somebody else wants to do the Twitter, I would be willing to do that. The email, but I really don't think that only one person should be in charge of the
How
Twitter.
about
Yeah, there's a lot of load anyways.
Yeah.
To hold the password.
And I've never met you before.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll hold
we
them
know.
temporarily at work. We can have another meeting at some point.
Yeah, next week.
all right?
Yeah.
Nikki, so can we just
Hot potatoes.
Yeah.
vote on the people and run through it? Like maybe Jessica, do you still want to do Tumblr?
I will do Tumblr.
So can we vote on Jessica for Tumblr? Can we do a temperature check? I think Jessica
Tumblr
should do
is going to be
Tumblr.
Jessica and Alyssa.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna vote for
I'm
myself.
separate. So.
Yeah?
Jessica, temperature check. Any hard block, and Jessica for Tumblr. Okay, temperature check for myself. On Tumblr.
Oh shit. Almost out of power.
Your hard block? No, I'm serious. And then, can we just, since she brought Patty, can we do Twitter for Patty? Can we just have that quick discussion? Does anyone
I'm
have
cool.
any concerns about Patty doing Twitter?
No.
How do people feel about Patty being on the Twitter team? Any hard blocks? You have
I
concerns?
had a concern about last week.
Okay.
I do. Patty lost her temper, and it to me was uncomfortable, and for her, I'm sure it was uncomfortable. And I think something like coming back in slowly is necessary, especially until Patty feels as if this is a space she can work in. Because I don't want her to come back in with a head full of steam, you know, and it to be a difficult thing for her to get acclimated. And I think that it might, I'm not the state, but I'm concerned about everyone's best interest. And that I think it might not be in Patty's best interest to jump right back in. But I am not against Patty ever being on the stuff. I think she's brilliant at what she does and should be included.
I have a question about that. Okay, so Patty's number one role is streaming. And first the question was her outburst question mark on during her stream or through a Twitter tweet.
It was live.
Okay, so is the question like her streaming? Because to be honest, she is the most steady streamer for
No,
OLA.
I constantly watch her streams. It's the only way I can get to GA. For me, it's like what happened last week. There was a lot of provocation, a lot of contention, and I think like coming back slowly like is a better option for all of us in terms of like making sure that the group dynamics like continue to build with trust rather than saying, well, we trust Patty and that was a one-time thing. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it was a one-time thing, but I'd like to see some kind of like, slow roll back in because I was alarmed by it.
How do you propose that be done?
Well, I haven't actually talked to Patty about what happened, and I'd like to talk to her and then feel comfortable. Like, I don't think it needs to be a public thing for me to talk to her as a person, but I've been busy and she's been busy, and I'd like to but I'm not hard blocking it, and it will go through in consensus.
Do you recommend that it's on like a 2-week trial, like a normal shadowing?
Or postpone it until next week. We meet next week anyway, right?
Yeah, me next week and have Patty maybe.
Yeah. So who would be the Twitter on the Twitter team?
Right now it's me and Benji, but I'd love to have one more person.
you Twitter, Marcos?
That's really who should be on
I'm not. I'm recording it. Sorry.
In regards to Patty, I would like to make a proposal that we. Can you mention since it's your concern? Can you mention your concern? And
Yeah, there was a break that happened during the meeting that I didn't think was going to be good for the meeting itself because people were getting upset. And Patty had come into the meeting upset already, obviously because she's been attacked in multiple groups that I'm a member of. And there was antagonism, and there was people trying to, and I would say there was antagonism on both sides. You know, Kandist was trying to flame you guys, you were flaming her. It was like uncomfortable. And then Patty like kind of reached back like she was gonna punch Alex, and there had been some yelling. He was calling her pepper spray or something, and it was really upsetting her, and she was already like near tears, and it really upset me. And then when she did that, I didn't think she was gonna stop. I thought, and she says that the whole time she knew that she was pretending to be violent, but for me, seeing it as an observer, and then when I looked behind me, a man had stopped and was taking pictures of our meeting, and that made me double uncomfortable, and I felt like I couldn't speak, and I didn't feel like the issue had been resolved. And then in the sandbox, Alex removes her of his own design, and so I didn't think that was a good move. But I also didn't feel like maybe Patty was in the frame of mind to be part of the group at that moment anyway, so it was hard for me to think. So like I'm in this place where I need to talk to Patty.
Yeah. Let's postpone.
Does everyone want to postpone Patty to next week?
Right.
Are we before she leaves? Are we gonna meet here next week at 11:30?
Yeah, right here.
Any
All right.
concerns about meeting here
I'll
next
see
week?
you all
again
here at
at
11:30 next week.
Okay.
That's
All
great.
right.
No,
See you
that's
next
great.
week.
That's great.
Okay, so she's Tumblr. I'm doing Tumblr,
great.
and now we have
Wonderful.
So that TikTok? So
Twitter right now,
clarification.
only on the list is Benji and I. Since there's no web, Naz, would you be interested?
the web, but
The web hasn't started yet,
oh
though.
yeah, but you were just doing tweeting.
Yeah.
But wait.
I don't know about this.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes, I do have a cell
Smart.
phone. No, it's not.
So it doesn't have a Twitter app.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bye, Sunshine. Wait, Sunshine, what
Wait,
are we
Sunshine.
voting for you? For Facebook. Wait, Sunshine's up for Facebook, so before she leaves, can we get a temperature check on Sunshine doing Facebook? Are there any concerns, any hard blocks about Sunshine doing Facebook? Welcome to the Facebook team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo.
See, then, are we just doing our current managers? Yeah, see you guys later.
Have a nice week. Who wants to be a content creator? All right. Well, let's start with the Twitter. Benji and I are both.
Annabella can take the role of Twitter.
I don't know how to use.
I'll teach you.
But I might be leaving town soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Me and Benji will deal with it. You won't get me tweets for a little while.
It's only for
It's only for a week. Okay.
What about Marcus? Do you have a smartphone?
Yeah, but I'm already gonna do the Instagram and the website.
Okay, so Benji on Twitter. Yes?
¿Qué pasó con tu casa?
Estoy esperando.
¿Todavía?
Myself on Twitter.
Yeah, eso.
Anyone abstaining, hard blocking?
Te va a decir país.
Okay. And now, okay, so I want to.
We should do the password.
Yeah, the passwords for the email account up for nomination are Carlos and Nikki. And so we'll start with Carlos. Okay, we reached consensus. And Nikki says she wants to do it for a limited amount of time. And so, okay. And so none of these terms are binding for a certain period of time, and things will get revoted as they come up. Okay, and Instagram, Marco said he was going to do the account.
Yeah.
And we haven't had one yet, so we'll figure that out as we go. Is that okay?
Do you guys want me to set it up and you just
Yeah,
hand over?
set it
Okay.
up.
Occupy Los Angeles, right?
Okay. Whatever you
One
want.
more thing about the WordPress. What email should I use in order to create the WordPress
Oh.
platform? I'm planning to use the WordPress platform, and I was wondering what email I should use for that.
Isn't
Should
their
I
email
link it?
embedded, like webmaster
Should
at
I link it with the main email by any chance, or?
I think they should slowly be split over time. So
Okay.
so I think making a new one that's like
Make
OLA website.
Okay.
a Gmail or something. So new Gmail, new. So we'll talk on the side. I have hosting too that we could use with plugins. I have hosting with all the plugins for the WordPress, like all those, so we can. We'll talk offline and we'll talk strategy.
But
They still are taking the direction from the sandbox, right?
Yeah, I came in the bus.
Well, we should discuss.
It's right there.
So what's on which one? As to whether or not.
Well, it's, you know, $5 to 5 parking, 7 gasoline, and
okay, so we have
20 more
for the
minutes.
web, Nas
Half an
and
hour more,
Marco
probably.
have agreed to start doing infrastructure. I've donated a domain depending on what people vote next week, as I'll give a list.
All right.
Did we vote on Nas and Marco? So did we vote
Okay,
on
Nas.
Nas, are there any concerns, any hard blocks about not doing the website? Not doing the website.
Okay, and then Marco as second on doing web infrastructure.
Marco doing the website. Marco doing the website.
Marco or which Marco? Just
We can't vote for ourselves, right?
this Marco.
Are you doing the website?
He was the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're doing the website.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's where.
Census on that.
Oops.
So this Marco.
Yeah, this. That's right, Fiesta.
Okay, and so the last thing, probably the most contentious thing, is the Facebook social media. There are different positions, right? There's the Facebook main page, which is the one that has the 58,000 likes. And then there's the Facebook sandbox, which has administrators. So there's the sandbox, and then the Facebook main. And then within the Facebook main, there's administrators, and then you can create content creators, which are people that don't have the capacity to remove other administrators or content creators from the Facebook main page. And so we have to take them separately. So
Do we have an Instagram too?
So far, me.
He's going to start the account. Do you want to be on it with him? Okay, so
That's funny.
Instagram.
Marco and Marco, sorry, that's good.
Marco, we have consensus. Marco
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Marco.
All right.
Woo. We have consensus.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm not alone.
here we are with the Facebook social media, the main page. Who's interested in doing the main page as an administrator?
Does that mean they're not posting?
No, it means you're posting and you're administrating. Content creators.
So, okay, wait. We need to agree that whoever manages, and Nikki and Benji, we need you for consensus.
We're almost done.
You too.
Yeah, so close. So effing
We're so
close.
close. Nikki and Benji, we're almost done.
Oh.
We need you for consensus. Okay, so do we agree that whoever manages the page will also have content creator posting ability? Can we consent to that? So whoever manages the page can also post to the page. Are there any concerns or hard blocks? No. Okay, so who wants to be a manager for a Facebook page?
Manager is a heavy duty. Yes, we got one.
I'll be a manager for the page.
So Erica
So I can watch
and
it.
Alyssa. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest 3, if anything, that we have 3.
Yeah.
This way we can see if the page is being deleted. It takes 48 hours to delete a page.
Yeah, like I think we need 3 life preservers. Is there Anyone else from the group?
Are you on anything?
Jeffrey or Sergi
that wants to manage the Facebook page.
Or are you saying that you will because you're not, like, the webpage hasn't started yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So Naz is there. So we have Erica, Alyssa, and Naz. And so now we have to vote on consensus for each of you. And then we're getting there. So for Erica,
Are there any hard blocks?
Just go like this. About 5 minutes.
Just 5 more minutes.
Final rounds, last few minutes.
As a manager and poster to the Facebook page. Are there any
Yeah, yo. Ooh.
and then Alyssa is a manager for the Facebook page. And then Naz is a manager for the Facebook page. Okay, so those three, and then the rest will end up being either sandbox admins or content creators. Who's interested in being a sandbox administrator? Yes? Sergi?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And Marcos, because we don't have problems.
And they would be enforcing.
Yeah. No history with him.
Yeah, so when you see polls come out that are about stuff that we need to discuss in person, you just say it's out of process. But you can't remove anybody from the sandbox
Unless we voted in person.
unless you vote in person.
Mm.
So, okay. This is going to be hilarious because there's no way you're going to gain administrative status. But I will watch that game play out.
Maybe if they don't, we can talk about if they don't gain administrative status, then right here we can talk about establishing a new group. A new group.
Mm.
Period. Invalidating that group. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
So let's vote on the admins
Well, we
and
could
then
have,
vote on the
okay,
caveat.
so that's
Nah.
like the sandbox as it stands now. I would suggest taking a week to think about what like a different group would look like. This is a lot of changes in 1 week.
Like a GSD group, I think.
But a GSD group would be okay. So now,
Yeah, a GSD
now
group.
with the
I love that
sandbox-
term. I gotta tell you.
Any of the admin and content creators that are in place right now,
Yeah.
where do they fall?
They knew they were supposed to come to the meeting, so
I just
they
wanna
could come
reiterate
next week and just get added back.
Okay.
I mean, I think this should be a continuous process, but that's me. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until we get everything set in stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can somebody just name off a list of those names so I can know who's going to be calling me?
Yes. I will. We just have to. We just have to vote on the sandbox right now.
Okay.
So Jeff is the sandbox administrator.
Yeah.
Are there any
Consensus?
hard blocks or concerns about that?
Okay. Sergi as the sandbox administrator. So one of your duties is going to be to pin the admin post every day. You know. Okay. And then Marcos. Yeah.
Marcos.
Yeah. You can't vote for yourself.
Yeah.
But I
Vote for that guy.
Okay, and so the sandbox admins are supposed to be these three. Right now they're Alex, Kandist, and Tatiana. Revo.
People that are not in a layer.
So, okay, so
Yeah, but we haven't voted to remove
if
them
the
yet.
sandbox is overtaken and we are not allowed back access, how does the group feel about creating GSD? Get shit done group?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
there
yeah.
any hard blocks on creating a new group if administration is lost in sandbox? Are there any hard
Not
blocks?
for me. No hard.
I have a problem with creating a hypothetical situation. We said hypothetically we're not going to get it, so therefore if this hypothetical thing happens that we don't like, we're going to make this other hypothetical group. Like, let's just let it play and then decide the
Well,
next
5 of
step.
us don't even have access to the group. So 5 of us even kicked out of that group without any cause.
Yeah, like Alyssa's not in it.
Patty, Jeff's not in it.
Yep, Jeff's been removed. So it's kind of a difficult group. I agree with you. Like, but then there's also the possibility of just consenting to do the other thing, which is creating a GSD group where these three are the new administrators, and then that group is where things are culled from in order to post on the Facebook page and get content for Twitter, Tumblr, whatever. So there's two options on the table, which is either try to get control back of the sandbox or start something else?
The thing is, okay, there's a line of procedures that I would like to kind of share with you guys. Just in case the sandbox, the working out over there in order to reestablish the admins doesn't work out, we have to first of all delegitimize that in front of the GA at the same time. So the GA reaches a consensus where they no longer consider the sandbox as
Legitimate, yeah.
So on the other hand, we can create another group where the GA approves it and at the same time creates all those faculties of the Twitter, the Facebook, at the same time a new website, Instagram, so that they gain a lot of consolidation at the same time a lot of
Point of information, the sandbox was never brought to the GA, so basically if we don't all have access to our working groups, people can't work. So, I mean, every other working group I'm a part of, the people that are working work in that working group.
Can we tell everybody to restore?
Huh?
To the group restore?
I mean, I think that maybe just a fresh, if the working group can't work together in the group, just a fresh group could be created, and then we could come back next week and decide whatever. But I mean, I don't know.
The idea of the sandbox really was like a whiteboard.
Yeah.
The idea of the sandbox was like a whiteboard, and a bunch of stuff gets put on there, and people say, this is horrible, this is great, how can we refine it? It didn't need approval. It turned into a beast in itself. That's where the problem became. And then within that, all this other stuff started. Well, it shouldn't need approval, it should just be a brainstorming space. That's what it should be.
Doesn't the sandbox have exclusive rights to the Facebook page, or am I kind of wrong?
No, they're totally unrelated, but I mean, it works in that sense, right? Is that people have conversations in the sandbox, there's this admin stream, people put up posts, people like those posts, whatever's the most popular and trending is then migrated as a complete OLA statement to the Facebook page. And in that sense, it sort of works. I mean, it's imperfect, but the problem was, it addressed the problem, which was there were only a few people, admins, great people, who were posting content on Facebook, and nobody else knew where it was coming from or why it was being posted. I mean, this was about horizontalism and democratizing our media. This was about creating a forum where people could talk about what they felt represented our views.
The repeat is that because we've invested ourselves, regardless of how professional everyone wants to be, we take it personally. And we take it personally to the point where we start attacking each other personally. That's what's happened. It's really hard to separate those things. We've invested ourselves for how long? 2 years now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should get a temperature check on, okay, so there's still two options. I agree with you that there needs to be a place where more people are able to post content. And so I think there's a lot of changes for 1 week, but I mean, I also think that if you start a new group with people who come to meetings, that you then kind of establish a membership role, and it also gets rid of the desire for everyone to get rid of everyone that's already in the sandbox, right? So if you start something else, you don't have to go through the arduous process of saying, hey, does someone whose profile's already been deleted still stay in the sandbox? They're not a problem, but they don't exist anymore, right? So there's like a benefit to moving that smaller group to a different Facebook group, like the one that we've just established here with these groupings, and then building it up from there as people come to the face-to-face meetings and become involved in actually doing the work. Then they would be added to that group as part of the meeting process. And yeah, I mean, but then you'd have to create some kind of public forum in which people outside of Occupy or inside of Occupy LA feel like they can post links and create content and share their YouTube links, and then you can source information from there.
Can we have a list of everyone that's going to be holding passwords?
Yep, it's all right here.
So can I hold
So in regards to that, today.
Okay, okay. I like a summary too. I'm gonna put it
Well,
below.
we're gonna.
There you go.
We're all gonna share all this information. We should. That should be our
Right.
first homework assignment.
Yeah, and capture key and don't touch
And
it.
this information needs to be shared to the classroom family members.
Alright, so the biggest thing we did today was figure out how we can separate